Hello and welcome. Today we've got something special for you. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy.
Well, who says I don't love the fans? Last year we had a Halloween 101 in which the Hobgoblin in the Cemetery won. Second place was Batman the Long Halloween inside of an abandoned warehouse. So here it is for you as a special Halloween treat. So without further ado, hello and welcome to a special Halloween 101. Today, it's Batman the Long Halloween. So sit down, stick around, and enjoy. So we're gonna start the Long Halloween here. The first thing I want to say about this book, it's 13 comics, all brought into one story. And every comic is based on a different holiday. Every comic coincides with a holiday. It starts on Halloween, it finishes on Halloween in the 13th issue, therefore it's called The Long Halloween. It goes through Halloween, through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, New Year's, all the holidays. The interesting part about this book is if you've seen the Batman movies, the new ones, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, you'll know that they were partly inspired by this story. Because a lot of the similarities between the movie and between this book actually are happening. This takes place right after Batman Year One. It takes place when there are struggles within the gangs in Gotham. The Maroni family and the Falcone family are fighting. And between all of this, Batman, District Attorney Harvey Dent, and Lieutenant Jim Gordon get together and make a pact in order to try to bring down these big gang families, especially the Falcone family, okay? The Roman, as he's called, the head of the Falcone family. And what happens in the book is that we see the evolution of this gang war as there's a killer somewhere in between here knocking off all these big-time gangsters and their families. And this killer is dubbed Holiday. So in this book, we try to figure out who Holiday is. Now, while we see all of this fighting and bickering going on between the families, and Batman, Gordon, and Harvey Dent trying to bring them to justice, we witness the rise of the supervillain. Okay, this is where we start seeing the Joker, Catwoman, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, Solomon Grundy. All these characters start to appear here. So this is basically the end of the boss of the gang-controlled Gotham and the beginning of the supervillain-controlled Gotham. The big part of the story is they're trying to figure out who Holiday is, and it's kind of like a murder mystery, and that's how it reads. A lot of clues are dropped between the story, in order to try to figure out who Holiday is. You'll also notice that some of the villains are hired by the mob in order to try to help the mob put an end to Batman or put an end to Harvey Dent and try to, end this pressure on them while themselves, they are trying to figure out who Holiday is. There's an interesting part in here because the origin of Harvey Dent is actually in this book too, and kind of an alternate origin, where he's still burned by acid inside the courtroom by one of the gangsters, and he subsequently becomes insane and kind of starts killing the mob bosses as well. in the end, I mean, this is a spoiler here. A lot happens in the book, okay? There's plenty happening in this book with different characters, different villains, trying to do in Batman or trying to persuade Bruce Wayne to do certain illegal activities from the mob families. But all over, in the end, there is a person who is revealed to be Holiday, and this is a spoiler, so please don't watch this if you don't want to be spoiled on the book. Holiday is revealed to be Alberto Falcone, which is the son of the main boss of the Roman. And there's conflicting evidence in the book that suggests that maybe Falcone was Holiday, Alberto Falcone, or maybe he wasn't acting alone. Maybe Harvey Dent was partially Holiday for some murders. And it's confusing in a sense that even to this day, Jeff Loeb himself, none of them will actually tell you or directly to the fans exactly who was Holiday. They say the answers are in the book. So if you're reading this comic, try to keep all the clues that you see into perspective, because it's actually a really interesting debate on who is actually the Holiday killer. And at the end of this book, right on the last pages, they throw another huge swerve at you, maybe implying that there was in fact not that necessarily Two-Face or Harvey Dent had anything to do with the Holiday killings, and not even Alberto Falcone wasn't the only Holiday killer, but there was actually somebody else. Totally a curveball. And a lot of people disregard this curveball and say, no, that's just this individual going insane and it has nothing to do with the murders, and he never had nothing to do with the murders. Although there might be some weight in the book that would suggest that they could have been the murderer too. So I'm not going to ruin that part for you. That's the last pages of this book, of the 13th part, and it's something that you have to read because it's a real shocker. You're going to sit there, you're going to read all this, you're going to go through it, you're going to see Batman evolve, you're going to see the supervillain evolve, you're going to see the mob bosses get picked off one by one, you're going to think you know who Holiday is, and then in the end you're going to be thrown a swerve. You're going to be like, whoa, what the hell is this? And there are fan sites and websites dedicated to figuring out exactly who is Holiday. So it's kind of an interesting concept, it's an interesting story, and it makes for a great read for anybody. And since it's Halloween, or close to it, it's a great time to read this because it starts on Halloween, it finishes on a Halloween, so it's kind of like a Halloween story, but kind of goes around all year. If you wanted, you could always just get the 13 issues separately and read them one month after the other, to get kind of a Christmas mood and a New Year's mood or whatever. Or if you want to just get the whole trade paperback and read it by part, or read the whole thing, whatever floats your boat. But definitely one of the best DC stories in a long time. And I know I said that about Superman Red Sun, but I'm saying it about this too. This is a great read, and it's very cool to try to figure out exactly if Alberto Falcone is Holiday or if it was someone else. And all the clues and all the hoopla around the web and all that is also nice to kind of get involved and see what other people think about this. So if you have an opinion and you've read this book, please feel free to post here. And I guess that's it for this 101. So take care, guys. Have a happy Halloween. Later. And I gotta get out of here because this place is kind of creepy. Yeah, it's a little creepy. So yeah, take care, guys. Later. Here we are on the site of the special Batman Long Halloween 101. The abandoned warehouse, beautiful chocolate river. And if you want to post a vote, right here, Ed Shitty for mayor. That's right. You want a shitty mayor? Ed Shitty for mayor. EdShitty.ca. Get involved.